Hey everybody, hope you're doing well today. Today I wanted to kind of give you a quick overview of some of the most recent things that we're working on. The thing that we're working on most rigorously right now is securing a new lease. So we've been in this building for about 3 years now, I guess. Maybe it's close to four. And we moved in here. It was our very first facility. It was something I had to personally sign for back in 2021. So yeah, 4 years ago. Was ready to get out of the house and find a place where we could do some kitting that we were working on. We also had some more sensitive types of things. So we started looking around to try to find a lease on a facility. We looked at a place local to where I was living. And then we looked into some surrounding areas a little bit. And so, as we were kind of expanding our search, we decided we wanted to go to a facility that was fully built out, as opposed to incurring a lot of expense building a new place out. We were mostly looking for office space back then, but as time has gone on, we've really expanded our use of this facility. So really, the first thing I was going to talk about a little bit is that initial lease, what was in there, and kind of what they were looking for. They wanted a 3-year lease. A lot of times people want a 5-year lease. But as a newer company back in 2021, our first lease, we went with try to negotiate down a shorter term. So that's something you can do when you're looking for a facility. You can definitely work with the landlord to try to negotiate favorable terms. We had an expense on the back end in terms of the last month, and there were security deposits. The building that we went into was originally just a smaller area. We actually negotiated a kitchen being built out, which has been great for our team. And so, as time went on, we were able to kind of build and pick up other rooms in the surrounding area. So that's been great for us. Now we've been here about, like I said, 4 years, and we're looking for a different facility. We want to be a little bit more centralized. We're also going to work towards being a hub zone business. So I'll talk more about that in some future segment of what we're kind of doing there. But essentially, we're moving to a more centralized area of Tampa. So right now, we're negotiating a lease. This lease negotiation was a little bit different. We started off with a letter of intent. We're working with another agent, and we're kind of negotiating terms. And so, interestingly enough, we thought price would have been the most important thing. But as we kind of continue with the lease negotiations, we find other things that are important. The type of lease, if it's a gross lease, if it's a triple net lease, and so some of these things may not make a lot of sense at first when you're first starting off. But our lease right now is all inclusive, so we've got janitorial services, electric, all those things. The HVAC system, that's all covered within the lease. So we really are kind of an all-in kind of lease right now. The newer lease, it's not going to be quite the same. There's going to be areas that we're going to be responsible for sharing on the cleaning and so also the power and some other things. So there can be some hidden expenses there. We're also negotiating a build out, whether it's a rent concession or something like that, because the facility that we're moving into isn't exactly what we need in terms of office space. It gives us some other opportunities, but there's some build out we'll end up doing. Then again, too, is when do we want to build it out? So it's expensive. Could be up to $200 a square foot to build out certain areas of your facility. And if we do other kind of more sensitive type of work in there, it could cost us even more. And you don't want to kind of do that construction more than once. Also, what can be stored in the facility is something we're talking about right now. Hazardous materials, overnight storage, or something, a whole host of things. Who's responsible for the structure of the building? What happens when there's damages? Again, you can kind of negotiate a lot of these things, and we're going through that process right now. So we'll go over there tomorrow, check out the current situation. We're meeting a general contractor over there tomorrow to figure out what offices we would build out, when, and what the pricing would be. Really depending on kind of what we're going to need and over what period of time. So those are kind of the main things that we're talking about right now. Again, there's a lot of legalese where some of our insurance has to change, so we're going back to our insurance provider to update based on not just the size but also location, and then what's going to be used, what we use the facility for. Right now, we're doing a lot of work with drones, and so whether or not we can put the drones in there or not These are gas powered drones. We just came back from a fly off with the Army last week. So I have those drones right now. And so whether we can store them there or if we need to find another facility, in this facility, we're not allowed to solder. We're not allowed to do really 3D printing. We did a little bit of that here for a little bit, but we had to kind of move that offsite because there wasn't a good ventilation system in there. So all these things, as you kind of grow and look to work with, different landlords, they all have a different perspective. These are the things that we're kind of working through right now to try to make sure that we get the facility that we need. In the end, we may end up having multiple facilities just because if we need to do some light manufacturing, this facility may not be exactly what we need. At the same time, we have a facility up in upstate New York, near my hometown, near the Canadian border, and that facility is right down on Market Street, which is their main street. Again, we're working with the community on what kind of signage can be put up there. So we've got some people up there working on that. The terms of the lease. One of the leases we ended up signing to an extension to put a air conditioning unit in there. A lot of those old buildings built in the 1900s, they didn't have air conditioning, so we ended up incurring a $20,000 expense just to put that in the building. We'll walk away from that if we ever move away from that facility. But right now, we've just doubled our facility, our footprint up there. There's some good things that come with that. We'll be able to do some more secure things kind of in one of the rooms. And we'll also have some ventilation and things like that. So we want to do some more of this 3D printing or maybe a little light soldering or things like that. We'll be able to do that. So again, just constantly thinking about, the facilities that you need to perform the work that you're doing, knowing that you can negotiate some of these terms, and also that, there's, depending on the location and things that you're looking for, you may or may not be able to do the things, all of it in one facility. So those are the things that we're learning right now. Again, we're continuously learning, all the different facets of being a small business. And this is the most recent thing. So thought I would share a few minutes of that with you. And if you have any questions, hit me up with the QR code, or if you just drop a link or just hit me up directly for those who have my contact information. But we'll love to be able to help you out and answer any questions you might have. For that, have a great day.